with the show, man. Like I said, this is a Dolphins podcast. This is a Dolphins football podcast first and foremost. And unfortunately, this is one of the worst times to operate and promote a Dolphins podcast because boy, oh boy, this team, it is rough to root for these guys, man. So, unfortunately, there was a game that had to be played, man. It was the Miami Dolphins versus the Indianapolis Colts. And the Miami Dolphins lost the game to a quarterback that was 10 for 24 with 124 yards passing, dog. Miami Dolphins had to start Tim Boyle because Travis Huntley got hurt. It is bad in Miami right now. If you have anybody on the fantasy team, if there's no way that anybody in America that actively plays fantasy has any of the skill positions for the Miami Dolphins right now. If you do, you are either the most dedicated person, the most loyal person ever, or you need a lobotomy, my dude. So whichever it is, bruh. So normally we start with you, Rob, but I'm gonna give you some time, bro. You don't gotta rush into this, dog. We'll take it and let you come in, bro. So Solomon, how do you feel as an outside observer? How do you feel when you watch the Miami Dolphins, when you have no reason, you have no allegiances, you have no ties to this team? You knew that we were going to talk about those guys. So how bad was the viewing experience is basically what I'm trying to ask you right now.
The viewing experience is like terrible. Because here you've got Jalen Waddle and you've got Tyreek Hill, you know, super fast guys, and the whole offense is all, you know, speedy guys, sweeps and this and that, and really when everybody's healthy and everything, it's really fun to watch, you know. And then you get the you know, everybody's healthy against the Chiefs or whatever, and they make for good matchups and fun viewing experiences. But today's game was absolutely booty. It was trash.
Nah, it was booty.
Like
it was definitely booty.
Sure. Then I mean, I'm an Anthony Richardson fan. That guy is just a big dude and plays like a big dude, you know?
He's talented for sure, 100%.
He has all the talent in the world for sure, without question.
But the Dolphins, I feel terrible, man. They lost to how many more concussions is this guy going to get before he just retires? You know, I don't say that in like a bad way or anything, but
yeah, you're just posing a genuine question that needs to be asked. Like, it's a fair question.
Exactly.
It's a very fair question to ask.
You know, I feel bad. I feel like he even if he's cleared to come back next week, he shouldn't. They should wait another week, you know? But
should they Saul? At this point, should they, man?
Maybe they down for the season.
I'm not saying I disagree with you, man, but just seeing the product on the field, man, should they?
I mean, you got to take it easy with this guy. What, he's had 4 concussions in 2 seasons, not to mention the hip injury in college. You know, it's just
Lemon.
It seems like it's a lot that's going to add up, man. You know, maybe
Rod, I know. Wait, Rod, we got a comment. I'm just more time for you not to respond, bro. I'm cutting corners here, dog. I know you don't want to talk about these bugs, man. I'm cutting corners for you, bro.
Let me get it out of the way, Herbie, so we can get on with the real football game.
Man, we got a comment for the homie Tony, man. Yes, we
Tony
saw in the building.
What's going on?
Him out of retirement. Because Saul sees the movement. Everybody sees the movement, man.
Yes, sir.
There's a freight train that's coming. So anybody who wants to be on the guest, man, holla at your boy, man.
Yes, sir.
We're whores. We're here free of charge, baby. You're going to get the best blowjob you ever get when you come on here, man. Believe that, dog.
Glory holes and all, man. Glory holes and all. Come on, come on.
All right, Rod, it's time, bro. It's time. Break this game down, man. This one was rough. And again, it's to be expected, right? Like, all backup quarterbacks are not created. Once you get to your third quarterback, once the guy that you got that was on your practice squad goes down, this is what it looks like. The position is hard. There's a reason why these guys are the highest paid guys on the team. There's a reason why a majority of them take that 20% cap roll, right? You need a good one. When you don't have a good one, when you have a bad one, it is obvious, and the whole operation looks pitiful, looks dreadful, looks ugly, and it becomes an eyesore to watch. It is a glaring weakness that is unavoidable if you do not have the best talent out there for your team. And once you get to the third guy, you're Tim Boyles. Ooh-wee, man. So I'm just saying that to add context and to add perspective. And I've been on the forums. I've been reading comments. There's people saying fire Mike McDaniels. There's people blaming the offense. But, guys, what do you expect? Tim Boyle got some reps out there, man. So, like, what do you expect? Seriously, man. But, Rod, go ahead, bro.
Well, Herbie, I want to say it's basically as simple as this right now. Miami without Tua is a disaster. They're a freaking disaster. And it's unfortunate, Herbie, because what makes this hurt so much, like, look, we know that when the starting quarterback gets hurt, there's going to be some adversity that you're going to face. But, Herbie, I see other teams, especially guys from the coaching tree that Mike McDaniel's from, they're able to make something work. Herbie, like, when I was watching this game, like, the Dolphins are putting on spectacular ways. Like, they are teaching the rest of the league how to give away games, Herbie. I want you guys to consider this. Last season, the Dolphins were the number one offense in points, dog. You know what I'm saying? They were probably, I think, number 2 in yards. Herbie, they are dead last. Like, we've only cracked 20 points once this season, and that was the first game. Like, this is a team that is anemic offensively. This is a team that, at the end of the day, no matter how hard the defense plays, you can only ask them to hold. You got to imagine that the only touchdown that the Colts scored was off of a turnover, off the fumble. So, you know, you have Raheem Mostert, who is your leading back, fumbling the football. You have Jason, dog. I'm so sick of Jason Sanders, Herbie. Like, I would break that nigga's leg, man. I would get a bat and break Jason Sanders' legs, bro, because I'm tired of watching this guy kick right into the upright.
Allegedly. Relax, allegedly.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, sorry.
I can't stand him, Herbie. I'm done with him.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm done with him.
You would allegedly get a bat and break his fucking leg.
Allegedly. Jason Sanders, listen, I'm just angry right now. I'm just mad. I'm just mad right now.
Tear that up, bro. But continue.
Nah, Herbie, it's just, you know, I'm looking at, you know, Dolphins websites, Dolphins media, Dolphins forums, Dolphins places where we can go and hang our heads and be miserable together. And, you know, I do see people calling for Mike McDaniel's head, Herbie. I do see people calling for Chris Greer. What I will say is I'll put it like this, Herbie. It's not that I dislike Mike McDaniel now, because I can see what he brings to the table. But then I ask you this question. If you really look at the Dolphins offense dating back to last season, maybe the last quarter of the season, maybe even dating back to like the last time that the Miami offense looked like that fun, high-flying offense was against Washington. From that point on, Herbie, the offense hasn't really been that impressive. And that was even including Tua to start the year. Now, it's going to be a lot better when he gets back, Herbie. It's going to be a lot better when he gets back, obviously, because you have a guy that knows the full playbook. He can make the throws you need to make. Herbie, Saul, why are Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle only getting their first catches on the final drive of the game? Why did Tyreek Hill only have one catch for 8 yards? Why did Jalen Waddle only have one catch for 11 yards? Like, it was like Herbie, you have 2 of the most electric receivers in the league. You have 2 of the most electric running backs in the league. And you still can't get anything done? Herbie, Chris Greer, count your days, bro. Chris Greer, count your days, bro. You've had so many years to fix this offensive line and you refuse to do it. Yeah, you hit on a couple picks here and there, but half of these guys get hurt. Where's Jalen Phillips? Out. Like, my guy. Like, Herbie, it's just... It's just so hard to watch this team sometimes, man. Like I had to switch it to red zone at one point because it's just awful, abysmal football. You have an offensive minded coach who without his quarterback can't do anything. And you could argue that when the quarterback plays and he doesn't have the best receiver, the offense doesn't move. That's an argument for another day. It's just we just have a team that is just soft. We have a team. Listen, if we're gonna talk about the positives of this game, all I'll say is that listen, the defense. I feel bad for him, dog. Like the defense must be looking at the offense, shaking their heads after every drive because the offense is not giving them any help at all. You mean to tell me you score 10 points in the first half and you can't do anything in the second half, Herbie? You miss a field goal, you have several punts, you have turnovers. Like it's just, whew, man. It's just, man. And you know what's so messed up, Herbie? I know that bringing Tua back is a risky move. I am not someone who is clamoring for Tua to come back due to the fact that I know that he's already had 4 real deal concussions. I would really hope that he would consider kind of taking a step back himself, but he seems adamant about wanting to play, and if he's going to come back, cool. But I don't know how much of a difference Tua coming back is going to make, Herbie. When you consider the fact the Bills got Amari Cooper, so they're going to be better. Like Saul brought up against the Jets about the Jets and the Steelers. They got Devontae Adams now. Like our division has gotten stronger as the season gone on, and we'll be better with the quarterback. But I mean, what are we really going to do, Herbie? Like the Dolphins have not given me enough faith in them as a team to think that we're just going to right this ship, especially when Tua gets back. And that's even if he can stay on the field, Herbie. Our offensive line is not good. And you have a fragile, injury-prone quarterback behind a bad offensive line, which is a recipe for disaster, as we have already seen. It's just it's just abysmal, man.
Yeah, it is abysmal. And you hit the nail on the head. What would bringing him back do ultimately? Like, this is the NFL. Things are moving. This is a wide open season, which is why you're seeing a lot of teams make moves in season. You've seen teams make moves heading into the season, like a Stephon Diggs going to the Texans. Like you mentioned, Amari Cooper is in your division now, and he made an impact instantly. Yeah, the Titans are not that great, but the Bills, who had a relatively quiet first half, they scored 7 points in the first half, and they scored 27 in the second half. Why? Because Amari Cooper was out there. He opens up everything for everybody else. That's one more headache that y'all guys got to deal with, man. And it is going to be a problem. Like, it's going to be a problem going forward because you guys were always winning in the margins, even when you were dominant. You were winning by scheme. And I want to reply to something that you said because I could be wrong, but it is something I might be. It came in my head when you mentioned it. And it goes back to Chris Greer, but it really goes to the system and how the system was designed from out the gate. Because remember, Jalen Waddle was there before Mike McDaniel was even
No, of course,
an
yeah.
option, right? And it goes to this. You guys chose speed over size. Yeah, that's great for Tua. Tua is a timing quarterback. Tua likes to anticipate things. And you don't necessarily have to be open. Tua just going to give you an opportunity. When you have these other guys in, they can't anticipate. You feel me? They need a big body to say, hey, that big guy, I can see him. Which is why Jonnu Smith had a really good game today. Especially when Travis Huntley was in there.
Listen, Herbie, that play, that was a great play design for that touchdown. Like, I'll give it to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll give it to him.
So now when you don't have a Tua, you realize that this team, I want to say it's flawed because it's the same team that put up 70 points on the Broncos just last year. That feels like a decade ago. I'm sorry.
No,
like,
it does. It does.
Like a decade ago. That was just last year, around this time, literally a year ago. Because I think it was about week 5 or week 6.
It was like week 3, I think. It was week 3.
Whatever, fine. Basically a year ago. That feels like 2011, 2015. It doesn't feel like 2023. This team seems like you guys went into the DeLorean and just went fast forward and just zip 30 years into the future, bro, and everybody got better than y'all, and y'all just the same team, like, woohoo, yeah, check us out. Woo, woo, like,
man,
you guys have been figured out. You guys, nobody's scared of anybody anymore. Like, what you guys had last year was an aura of fear that you put in defenses' hearts.
Especially in the first half of the season. Yeah. It's
all of
done.
that shit is gone. Not a single team in the NFL fears you guys anymore. And that's why they're beating you up at the line. That's why they're jamming you guys at the line. That's why they're getting super physical with you. Because you can't have all small guys, man. You need
size
out there.
You need size.
This is Chris Carter, the Hall of Fame wide receiver that played for the Minnesota Vikings and ironically the Miami Dolphins at one time, and he says this quite often, NFL is a big boy sport. It's a grown man league. You can't little dudes this shit, especially when there's teams that know how to actually, cover and attack what you guys are trying to do. And man, it is...
Herbie, it breeds bad football. It breeds a bad viewing experience.
Again, you guys lost to a quarterback that was 10 for 24. And again,
he was 5 of 18 for 60 yards at one point, man. Deep in the third quarter, Herbie. Bro, I was getting ready to come on here and be like, Anthony Richardson has talent, but he, with all the talent in the world, he didn't even have to hit his receivers, Herbie. We were able to just give the game away. We were just able to
do that. He did. Yeah. That's for damn sure. All right, so let me break you in because I actually want to transition into the conversation about you, Anthony Richardson. So I'll save my point for the end, but let me bring Saul back in. So what did you see from Anthony Richardson today? How did you feel about his performance in particular?
I mean, like I said earlier, it's just a big dude playing the position like a big dude would. Like, I got a free blitzer. I'm not too worried about it. I'll just shrug the shoulder, whatever. He can't tackle me because I weigh 15 more pounds than he does. I just wish Anthony Richardson would slide a little more and take a little less chances with all the contact that he gets. But, just another, just big body, like Cam Newton type who can launch the ball down the field. He's a little inaccurate, though. I mean, as
a little, okay, yeah. I get you trying to be nice, man. We don't need to do that. He's big you gotta be honest. He's more than a little, buddy.
Bro, the man had a basketball stat line as a quarterback, bro. Come on, man. You can't do that. You can't be a quarterback with a basketball stat line like you were taking shots, bro.
It was pretty
You're
bad.
Throwing to other guys. You're not throwing in the hoop, man. And you can launch the ball 70 yards downfield.
I didn't even know about the stat until you brought it up because I was watching Red Zone. The game was such a bad viewing experience through Red Zone.
No, honestly,
facts.
But
it's funny when Rick Hansen is trying to be supportive of a team and he's even left lost for words, dog. He's like, yeah, and the Dolphins, all right. Dolphins are actually across midfield for once. That's new. That's
hilarious, man.
All right,
terrible, man.
This is my take on Anthony Richardson, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it again. There's gonna be people, especially that are gonna come for me and Rod because we are African American. Well, we're Haitian American, but we are black, right? And there is a notion that you have to protect the black athlete, particularly the black quarterback. And it's going to be ironic because I'm going to expand upon this conversation when we get to the Texans and the Packers. And it's going to be a complete 180 from what I'm having right now. But when it comes to Anthony Richardson, you got to be honest. I am empathetic to him because this is his rookie season. He only played in 4 games last year, and it's really 3.5. He's only played in technically 7 football games, right? However, you can't go 10 for 24. You can't be completing 50% of your passes for the season. If that's just one game, hey, whatever, it's an outlier. But This is what you are doing. This is a pattern. And it always trips me out because we seen with Drake May, right? Drake May was pretty off the mark last week, even though they came back and he showed a lot positive, right? But he was airmailing shit. Like there was stuff going. Oh, you know it's bad when you see the wide receiver look like you see the helmet going like, what the fuck was that? That's what Drake May was doing last week. This week, it's like a whole different quarterback. There was only one bad pass that he threw the entire game. He was hitting dudes in their hands consistently. Like
he looked good. I hate to say it, but he looked good. So he did. He looked good.
Contrast that with Anthony Richardson, who has more NFL experience than Drake May. Drake May was able to correct what he had to correct in 1 week. Anthony Richardson has had a year and a half to do it, and he's still a 53% completion percentage quarterback. That's going back to UF. At UF, his senior year, or his final year, I'm sorry, because remember, he only started 13 games at UF. He was, for his career, 53% when it comes to completing passes. He's doing the same thing in the NFL. At some point, you are what your number and your stat lines say you are. And right now, Anthony Richardson is not giving the Indianapolis Colts the best chance to win. As crazy as this sounds, old man Flacco is better for this organization right now, dog. Let the young man sit.
Let him develop. Yeah, he got to develop, man.
Still found a way to lose to this dude, man.
That tells you the state of the Miami Dolphins right now. That tells you where we are. Like, that's why even bringing Tua back, like, first of all, Herbie, I have a bad feeling about them bringing Tua back. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I have a bad feeling about it. But that feeling aside, Herbie, we have a tough division. We got some tough teams to play down the stretch. I mean, listen, 2-4 isn't the deepest hole. But, you know, the Dolphins needed to win. The Dolphins needed this game, Herbie. We needed this game considering the gauntlet that we had moving forward. Like, I think I saw on an ESPN stat line, you know, on a post that we have like the third easiest schedule remaining. But, you know, that's just, they say that, but the games have to be played.
It doesn't matter. Just the NFL. And
it's the NFL. And the way the Dolphins have looked, even with Tua so far this season, it just does not inspire a lot of confidence. But look, we'll see what happens with the Cardinals next week. But for now, Herbie, I just want to take the tape of this game and put it in the trash, set it on fire, and be done with it.
Yeah, man. For sure, man. All right. We are running up because, you know, that went kind of long, so we had to, speed through the rest of the games and whatnot, man. But before we get to the rest of the Week 7 games that we're going to discuss, man,